Today we are covering this very interesting topic called the paradox of choice. Uh, well, what do we see on our screens right now? We see a woman in a supermarket probably looking at 1,000 things with say 10 options for one single item to buy from. So these are the kind of choices that each of us has available for us for each and everything, and not just the supermarket. What are some choices that we make on a day-to-day basis? Well, what food to order from the restaurant menu? What type of toothpaste should we pick? Should it be Colgate, Pepsodent, whitening, gum problems? What style and shape of the clothing will suit us? The A-line top or the bell sleeves? Well, the choice is infinite. Work deadlines or family time? Again, a choice that we make on a day-to-day basis. Well, taking a route to some place, taking an X route or a Y route, which one does Google suggest? And lastly, whether we should get up, work out, or sleep in late. So these are the kind of choices that we face, the decisions that we have to take on a day-to-day basis. But is it always such a good thing to have so many choices? Well, we've always heard about the good things that choice offers us. It frees us from tyranny. It provides us with options. It can cater to a different number of people because they have different requirements. Well, but choice also requires effort. Choice is work. Choice is something that you have to build on, you have to work on. Now, what is this thing called the paradox of choice? The paradox of choice is an observation that having many options to choose from, rather than making people happy and ensuring that they get what they want, can cause them stress and problematize decision making. Has any one of you experienced this? I'm sure you must have. Well, more choice, less work done? Probably yes. More choices is equal to unhappiness? Probably yes. Now, how does this really work? You might be all like, what is she saying? Like, how can choice make us unhappy? Let me go deeper into how the choice, so many choices makes us unhappy. Well, now we are in a restaurant and we have a menu right in front of us, and we're kind of figuring out what to order from the menu. Well, so firstly, we ordered something and now we expect it to be really, really delicious. This is called raised expectations. Secondly, well, we missed out on ordering a few other flavors as well. That's the opportunity cost. Thirdly, we should have gotten the other one. Basically, the anticipated regret that, oh, I made a bad choice. I should have made the other one. And lastly, I never pick the correct one. I always get a bad cocktail. I always get a bad mocktail. So that's self-blame. So too much choice leads to paralysis and it leads to a lot of dissatisfaction. We live in a world which is filled with paradox of choice. We have infinite choices, yet we want to eliminate the uncertainty of choice by finding that perfect one. How do you really solve this paradox of choice and go forward? How do you get that paralysis out of your life? How do you get that dissatisfaction out of your life? Well, here we discuss that. Firstly, learn to live with constraints. So learn to love them and learn to live with them. Conforming to rules, standards, norms, well, it helps up. It is maybe, some might say it's kind of restricting, but then it does help us speed up our decision-making process. I know I have to be here at 8 in the morning and I have to be there. It's a constraint. Well, for some, it's a restriction. For some, it helps them. It inspires them to, actually get up and be there. Secondly, these strategies allow us to free up time for more important things in our life. So, well, norms, rules, standards are something that we should learn to conform with, not always, but in a lot of things. Secondly, curtail social comparisons. We often can't help but compare ourselves with other people, but social comparisons may reduce our level of satisfaction with what we have. It is very, very important that we minimize social comparison because in the end, it is super destructive for any individual. Third, control your expectations. Now, our perception of an experience is heavily influenced by how it compares with our expectations. So, eliminating that excessively high expectation is the quickest route to increasing satisfaction. But again, this is not helped with a world that encourages high expectations. Fourth, regret less. Regret is sometimes necessary to give you that necessary push up, that necessary kick in your life. But given the complexity of life today, it is rare to come across any single decision that has the life transforming power that we think it might has. Further, the regret in our life becomes so dominant that it pollutes or prevents decisions rather than seeking to reduce it. So we should aim to be a satisfier rather than a maximizer. Limit the number of options we consider. Well, the other day I was sitting and booking some flight tickets or say hotels for a trip. And I couldn't help but go back to the app every 5 minutes to see whether, well, I might have booked up an expensive one. I might have booked up with the one that has very bad reviews. So that's the regret that we usually have. Get over it, guys. Be a satisfier and not be a maximizer. Fifth, practice an attitude of gratitude. Be happy with what you have. Be content. This will significantly help you improve your experiences of the choices that you make in your life. It will lead to happiness. And I think at the end of the day, that is all that we look forward to. Make your decisions non-reversible. Now with the kind of conveniences we have these days, buy something, don't like it, return it. So while limit that kind of non-decision making, limit those kind of returns. Because we need to appreciate the choice that we made. Well, if it's a different issue, I mean, I agree it's a size issue or something else, you're going to go back for exchanges and returns. But otherwise, make your decisions non-reversible. Own what you chose. And lastly, think about the opportunity cost of the opportunity cost. So do not compare, have less options, and you will lead to better decisions and you will be more satisfied in your life. This is because thinking about the best features of something we rejected will distract us from the satisfaction that we received from the selected items. So why crib about something that we haven't got? Might as well enjoy what we have got. Learning to choose is hard. Learning to choose well is harder. And learning to choose well in a world of unlimited possibilities is harder still, perhaps too hard. So what do we do? What is the end conclusion? Well, focus on what makes you happy and do what gives meaning to your life. Thank you.